So let's talk about eyes for babies. How you doing? What do you think about the series? We're in number 3. I'm getting excited because pretty soon we're going to paint that baby. You can see the picture. Oh, okay. Okay, so I'm excited. What can I tell you? There'll be a link in the description below. The eye, the drawing, and the value study. For as far as eyes for babies, they are typically larger in proportion for their face. They also typically will have short, kind of flat eyebrows. Again, this is going to be the same thing. Rinse, repeat. Put water, do a wash, blow dry. We're still trying to keep things below a 5, trying to make sure everything is very smooth. What I'm doing with this is no different than learning how to do a tree. Once you learn the basic shapes that you need to know and what you need to know to make it work, then it's not hard. But you got to practice. And this is a great opportunity just to practice using a little piece of scrap paper, needs to be good paper, just playing and just having fun. I am still using the same basic colors, though in the description below. Let's go paint an eye. Let's look at the eyes. So here's the nose. I can see that there's a little red area. I see here there's a white area. And then there's this open area right here. That's where I'm going to open it up. I love eyes. Eyes are so cool. And that's what we see, okay? That's actually a highlight. You can either pull it out, paint around it. What don't you see? I do not see where the eyelashes are at. Babies, when they're little, they don't have much of an eyelash. So that's his eyelid. It seems a little darker right in that area. Okay. So I have this shape here. It comes down here, it comes here. So I'm going to show you how I do eyes. Everybody does eyes a little differently. They're fun. There's always a light area right there. That's common. Normally, you'll have an area underneath that is a little highlight, and it's right here. We do not have whites on the eyes. I know you think they're white, but they're not. So you're going to paint everything except for that spot. Now, and I can see there's some more yellowy cones versus, and so I'm going to use a little more red. I'm going to keep this very, very light because look at how white that is. That is no color. Let's go back to our values. That's white. So there's going to be color, but not much color. Let's see. What is this area? Kind of a 2 to 3. I don't think it makes a 3. So it's still very light. What happens when we hit over here? Maybe a 5? Now, there's different colors in that eye. And this is a value, but it's almost nothing. It's a 2 maybe. Definitely a 2. So everything has to be covered except for, so I'm making piles. Some have a little lighter and have absolutely basically no value, just a little more pinky. All right, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to put water on it. Babies are water, but this time we're going to do something different. We're going to go around So I'm going to start the whole thing. It's okay to even put a little blue in the eye. Just gently. Did I hit it? Sure enough. I love it, my life. All right, try it again. Boop. Well, I am going to actually now change the where I'm going to put it. See, I can do that. Who says I can't? Who's going to say no? Everything's white except for what? The highlight of the eye. That there's going to be, and I always try to pop that in. There's going to be the, it's called the, there's a name for it. I think it's getting a little too, I'm going to calm it down a tad. Very gentle. Now we know right here is darker, so I'm just going to pop that in right now while it's still wet. This is darker, right? Yeah, this is actually, I'm going to use just a little of that where the eyebrow is going to be. All right, that's enough information. Let me go ahead and blow dry. And you notice I'm still using my big brush. Doesn't really matter at this point. Doesn't hurt a thing. I'm looking now. So I've got my first wash on. I can actually have a little bit of difference of that. Probably not enough, but for the time being, it's good. Now this gets darker and more pinky toned. I'm looking for the values. So this will get softened. Okay. So I'm just going to soften the edges. So I'm just kind of trying to get the values in, okay? I'm not really freaked out about it being perfect. And you notice I didn't actually put water on, probably should have, but it's okay as long as you can move fast. If you can't move fast, what I want you to do is to do this with water, okay? There's a little bit of dark right here. And I'm gonna soften an edge, soften an edge, soften an edge. You don't, and maybe I will just kind of, okay, right now, I definitely need to do with water. So let me put water on there. So there we go. Now I think I'm gonna use a little more of that brown right here. Let's stop before I get in trouble. I can feel it coming. I'm gonna clean up a spot. I do love eyes. I'm more likely to spend a little time on the eye just because it's so cool. Okay. This is a really pretty blue shade, and I'm debating if I'm going to use that or just cobalt blue. I like cobalt blue, and I think the baby's actually somewhere. And you're going to die, but I'm just going to soften it right into the skin a little bit. So there's a part of this is very, very light. So, and then on that one side, it's a little lighter. Then over here, it's a little darker. Now I'm going to take a darker blue and I'm going to use it while it's still a little wet to outline the eye. And I want it to actually, I want it to kind of bleed in. That's my goal. I'm going to grab a little more, a little more brown-ish. And then there's going to be that red in the corner. And I think this is supposed to be a little lighter. I kind of got excited. Have to be careful. All right, let me blow dry. Now, I don't use black babies. And I'm going to go ahead and go smaller brush just because it's a baby. I want a brown. Now I'm going to grab this and pull out some water so it doesn't move. And I'm going to immediately soften. And I'm going to put it right into it. There's going to be a darker area right here. Now you can see how hard that is. I'm going to immediately soften it out. Blue. Now I'm going to use a really dark blue and really pop in this. Something dark, very, very dark. This is for the pupil. I do want the edges to be soft. So I'm gonna immediately come back through and fix the edges. And what I'm gonna do is I'm going to soften I'm separating. Now right there, you can see because I'm not softening it, it doesn't look very good. So I'm gonna soften it up. And now I'm not doing it black. Not going to do it black because I figure I'm going to get in trouble. And I think this requires, I need to be a little softer here. I got a little too. And you can see I'm just grabbing it, squeezing, and just softening it up a little bit more. I don't think I've got the drawing good. What do you guys think? I see some issues with the drawing, which I don't like. To note, what's that tell me? That tells me that I have to draw it better when I put it in the thing. And that's okay. This is part of why we're doing this, is we're looking for issues. Oh, I know I'm not right. So hang on a second. Let's fix some of that. This color actually goes a little further. Because that actually pretty much goes all the way into that. Look at that. It's so fun to draw. I love, I'm gonna pop that in again. I'm gonna blow dry because I'm having issues. What do? Drop that brush. I see this is darker right here. I'd like to make it a little lighter at the bottom. Right here, I think it's lighter. So this shows darker here, darker here. This was my practice one. I can see where I'm going to have a little issues. This is why it's helpful to at least try it once and kind of see what's going to give you issues. Here's what I've learned. I'm gonna have to be a little more careful out in the drawing. And if I think it looks too dorky, I just soften it, add water, and a little different shape, which is gonna give me grief. So the shape is from here. It's okay. It's not my favorite eye. I had a little issue. You know, it happens. I'm not the only one who's ever messed something up. I got too dark in the eyelid right there. I think I should have made it a little lighter and that would have made a difference. The other issue is I noticed as I'm doing that, you couldn't really determine which is the eyelashes versus the actual line. This is practice, right? It's not perfect. You see, if you can do better, you probably can. I believe you can do this. Go down to my description, grab the link, take the picture and the drawing, and you know what? We're practicing, we're learning. It's just a process. And I really believe that this is an easier process than do the entire thing. When you're not sure what you're doing, drop that brush, like, subscribe, and ring that bell.